Hi everybody. Okay, so this is going to be a review of the film Something Borrowed from 2011. Now, I've done so many videos at this point. I don't know if I did this review already, so I don't mean to be a repeat, but just in case, here it is. Alright, so this is a big theatrical release, which means it had all major stars in it. Okay, Jennifer Goodwin was the main star and Kate Hudson was the supporting, and then there was also Ashley Williams, who is of the famous Williams family. She's sisters with Kimberly Williams Paisley. You know, the girl who was in Father of the Bride Part 2, and According to Jim, along with other things too. And then there were some other people in it too. And Colin Egglesfield or something. He was on a soap opera before because the first time I ever watched this movie, I said, I remember that face. And then they said what his name was, and I was like, oh yeah, that was that guy on the soap opera for a while. Okay, so the premise of the movie is that Jennifer Goodwin is best friends with Kate Hudson's character, and Kate Hudson and Kate Hudson kind of recognized that Colin Egglesfield and her should be a couple. But then she said, no, no, and this is back in college. So imagine years ago, right? So then Darcy takes it, and Darcy is her character name. There's Darcy, and then there's what's her name? Rachel. Rachel is her character name. Okay, so Rachel is the one who should have been with the guy from the beginning, but she didn't do it. So then Darcy takes it upon herself to ask him out, and they inevitably get engaged, and that's where the movie starts. Although it kind of starts at her Rachel's 30th birthday party, thrown by Darcy for her, but it kind of turns into the Darcy show, and she basically, puts her friend down because, oh, you turned 30, you're old, all that kind of stuff. So, so then Rachel feels bad about herself because she's 30 years old and she thinks she should be farther along in her career and her life than she is, and the whole thing. Okay. Little does the guy know that she has had a crush on him since college, but never said anything. The reason this comes out is because they have a drink after the party. And she says, oh, I had a crush on you. This turns into them making out in the back of a cab and going to her place and spending the night together. Meanwhile, the fiance, Darcy, is like nervous because the guy never came home. And yeah. And then, of course, Rachel doesn't know what to do. She feels kind of obligated to her friend to be a good friend and all this stuff, you know. And he has feelings for her, but he doesn't know what to do with it either because he's engaged to the other girl and he thinks that he should um, follow through on commitments, that kind of thing. And so, okay. So then it comes out way later. I mean, way later that um, they slept together. Rachel and the guy slept together. Dax, Dax, Rachel and Dax slept together. And then Darcy had a kind of affair also on her fiance before they were fiancés or whatever, or maybe after. And so they were both infidelity on both sides. Okay. So all it means to me is that these two people should not be getting married or anywhere close to it. Because if you're gonna have infidelity already at this stage, yeah, that's a sign you should not get married. You're with the wrong person. Which, if you could back it up, I'd say don't even get engaged if you have those thoughts in your head. But you have to go where the story goes. So okay. So then the B storyline kind of is this guy Marcus, who is friends with both of them and has a crush on Rachel too, but she doesn't feel that way. Has this girl that's Ashley Williams after him, and he does not like her, but she's too clingy and stuff. And so he says to her to not hurt her feelings that he's gay, that he doesn't like women. So then instead of just admitting defeat or whatever, or taking the hands, she takes it as a challenge to, I don't know. It's just, so the first time I watched this a couple times because the first time I watched it, I kind of watched it in pieces where I was watching it on TV. And you know how you start a movie, but then you don't always finish it? Okay, well, then the second time I watched it all the way through. And so I watched it about a week ago or something. And it was like the third time I watched it. And I still have the same feelings I had the first time I watched it. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna throw out some cautions out there. If you're a romantic comedy fan, this might be up your alley. But if you want happily ever after, you'll get it, but it won't be satisfying because it's like two people used each other to get there. And it's just not a good, like, happily ever after that's like through and through, like, okay. Because you understand that the two people involved had to cheat on each other for the other couple to even happen. And then they want to end up like all hunky and dory, like nothing happened and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but no. And then you question each character because it's like, okay, are you okay with the one who got engaged to the guy? Are you okay with the fact that a husband, he was going to be your husband, that he cheated on you? Are you okay with that? And for the woman, are you okay with the only way you got there is that you cheated with him to get him? So there's a bunch of holes in it. I would not recommend it as a way of getting somebody to get their attention or whatever. I would not recommend this path. And it really kind of fails because, and I'm not trying to be the police or anything, but it's just if you want to be immoral, that's not the way to do it. It's not, it just doesn't ring true. Now, if you can throw away all of that and just enjoy it for what it is, then okay, but I don't know. I've always been up in the air about this one. Always. Because I'm like, well, at first I was like, okay, all right, all right. At first, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But then as I get older and watching it back, I'm like, okay, but I don't agree with that. So that's where I am with that one. So I'm sorry, it's not a really positive review, but it's a real review. So there you go. Bye.